AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D spotted in CPU-Z features 5.6+GHz boost clock and 128MB total L3 cache. The leak confirms that the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D won't have any reduction in its clock speeds and will feature the same boost clock as the non-X 3D edition. AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D appears as an engineering sample in CPU-Z, revealing the core, thread count and various specifications as previously reported. AMD has indeed retained the same clock speeds as the non-X 3D editions on the upcoming Ryzen 9 9000 by 3D chips. The processors are iterations of the existing high-end Ryzen 9 9000 chips but with additional L3 cache achieved through 3D V-cache technology. The flagship chip will be the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D, which will feature similar specifications to the non-X 3D edition, but this time it's much different than its predecessors. Typically, you will find a downgrade in the core clocks, mostly base clock, in some X3D chips. But Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D is retaining the same 5.7 GHz as was leaked in a CPU-Z screenshot. It was 5.65 GHz, to be exact, and, as per the Windows screenshot, via at94G8 law, this is an engineering sample code named Grandridge, which clearly indicates it's a Ryzen 9000 chip. One more thing to point out in the CPU-Z window is that the processor will have the same 170 watts DDP rating as the Ryzen 9950X. As the cache size shows a 96 plus 32 MB configuration, it's clear that it's an X3D edition, and through its core, thread configuration of 1630 seconds, we can confirm that this is indeed the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D. This means we aren't seeing any downgrades compared to the 9950X, and this also indicates similar productivity while upgrading the gaming capabilities due to an additional 64 MB of L3 cache. The chip will have two core complex dies, CCDs, each carrying 8 cores with 32 MB of dedicated L3 cache. One of them will feature an additional 64 MB of L3 cache chiplet underneath the CCD to bring the total L3 cache count to 128 MB and 144 MB together with L2. Unlike previous generations, placing the L3 cache chiplet underneath the CCD allows the cores to be in direct contact with the IHS for superior cooling. This allows for retaining the core clocks while unlocking the potential for further overclocking. Both the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D are expected to be unveiled at CES 2025 alongside FSR4 and RDNA4 based graphics cards such as Radeon RX 9070 XT.